Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie, and my amazing guest, Talaya Dendy. She is a good one. You're not going to want to miss it. So tag your friends, let them know we're on, and here we go. Do you want to know how amazing people connect? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie.
Thanks for connecting. And if you like what you hear, please share.
Special thank you to our sponsors of Marketing with Russ, the Hounds of Business, Haugen's Gallery, Shortstop's Burgers, Shakes and Fries, and Suzanne Baldovic and State Farm Insurance. For more information on the Hounds of Business community and Mike Asherbrenner, go to the Hounds of Business community on LinkedIn. Also, for more information about Haugen's Gallery and their amazing personal branding photography, go to haugensgallery.com. And for more information on Shortstop's Burger, Shakes, and Fries in Albany, Oregon, amazing food, go to southpawspizza.com. And finally, for State Farm and Suzanne Bodlovic in Albany, Oregon, go to insurancewithsuzanne.com. Music by Connor Hedge and Protestant, used with permission. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie. So glad to be with you this morning. It is a Thursday morning. It's a great day. It's time to do some wonderful connecting and community building here on Marketing with Russ. And so thankful to all of you that are here already. And I'm just going to tell you right off the top, hit that share button and tag your friends. Let them know we're on, because Talaya is going to be on today and you do not want to miss her. So share, tag your friends. I am looking forward to an amazing show. I am so thankful that you're here, this amazing community, and just want to remind you what we are all about here on Marketing with Russ. This is all about how amazing people connect. And today is definitely one of those amazing people. You know, connection and community building is the foundation of any good marketing plan, any good business. And I truly believe that. In my marketing coaching, I help people become visible, to connect with people, to build community and relationships. That is where the magic happens. When people know, like, and trust you, you've heard that over and over and over. It is so true. Things happen that are good for you, good for your business. And so I want to encourage you today to connect with people. And of course, I love to connect with people. I would love to have you connect with me. You go to russedge.com. I'm simple-minded, so I give you my name.com. There you go, russedge.com. All the information about me, my inspirational speaking, my marketing coaching, my live streaming and producing, all available there for you. You can find it all at russedge.com, and all my connection links, all my live streams, everything you need. You can even schedule time on my calendar. I would love for you to schedule time to Zoom with me. You can pick a time that works for you, that's available, and I would love to connect with you if we're not already connected. Speaking of connection, you definitely need to check out our YouTube page. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people there, going on thousands, that you need to connect with. And I can tell you, coming up here, if you haven't heard, it is our 500th show. And you need to go to YouTube and look at a lot of those 500 guests. They're amazing. And today is one of those. Obviously, today you go back and watch her show. But you ask me, how do I get to your YouTube page? Well, let me tell you, if you know the name of this show, you're in good shape because Marketing with Russ Live will take you directly to my YouTube page. You can right now go to the upper corner, open another tab, type in Marketing with Russ Live right now before we get going, and subscribe today if you haven't already. I'm telling you, you'll be glad you did it. There's so much great information, and there's fun stuff on YouTube Shorts. Every Monday and Thursday, we do the marketing tip of the day that shows up on YouTube Shorts. Also, my beagle and my cat, who are way more popular than I am, show up on YouTube Shorts. So today, I want to encourage you, check that out, and you'll be glad you did. Like I said earlier, please share this and tag your friends. Let people know because we all get busy. So let them know, hey, we're on. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be an amazing, amazing day. So, all right. And then don't forget behind me, my book, Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose, and my 4 other anthologies and my Befuddled workbook are all available at, I know it's shocking, russhedge.com. That's right. But also, you go to Amazon or any online bookseller and find information there as well. So thankful for opportunities to encourage you through these books. My latest book will be coming out later this year. Looking forward to that. And the last but not least, we've got our marketing tip of the day. I'm going to do that, and then we'll get Talaya in the room. This gets cut out and put out separately, like I said, on YouTube Shorts, on social media. So if you're on LinkedIn or Facebook, whatever, you can share that with people. Instagram, X, it'll show up. You can share it with people. And these are things to encourage you. They're little simple truths that make you more successful in life and business. So, are you ready? Here we go. I love this. Here we go. This is your marketing tip of the day. Focus on relationships. That's it. Simple, easy. Focus on relationships. When you focus on connecting and building community and you focus on building relationships with people, they quickly get to know, like, and trust you, which you've heard over and over and over, but it is so true. And what happens then? Then they want to do business with you. Then they want to do life with you. I've got so many lifelong friendships and great, great business connections because of building relationships. And I do it now. You've got to take advantage. Now is your time. I tell you, there's so many things going on in this world and in your business, and sometimes it's confusing, but just building people around you, building relationships, like Zig Ziglar says, you build the people and then the people build your business. That's the way you do it. Show them you care. Like John Maxwell says, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Care for them. You can spout information all day long and they don't care if you don't care for them. So today, focus on relationships, and that is your marketing tip of the day. All right, there you go. That is the marketing tip that will get cut out, put out separately. Love to have you take a look at that. And now we're going to get Talaya in the room. Are you ready? Drum roll, please. Brrr, ching. Good morning.
Good morning, Russ. Thank you so much for having me.
I am so thankful that you're here, Talaya. You are such a blessing, and we have some things in common. So I want you to start by telling everybody. Let's just start at the very beginning. Who in the world is Talaya, and what are you up to?
All right. Good morning, everyone. I am Talaya Dendy. I am a 13, next month will be 14-year cancer thriver. And I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma out of the blue in 2011. And I say out of the blue because I was never sick before. I mean, every once in a while I would get a cold or the flu, but that was it. And other than going to the healthcare system for annual exams, Dr. Dennis, I was not a savvy healthcare consumer. So, of course, when I got this diagnosis, I was like, wow, what do I do? Now, actually, my experience with cancer started in 2010, a whole year before I was diagnosed. And I went to my primary care doctor in 2010 because I was concerned about a small lump that was on the side of my neck. And she pretty much blew it off. And she said, "Oh, don't worry about it. You work out a lot. It's probably just a pulled muscle." Well, I found out a year later it was not a pulled muscle. And so At that time, Talaya was very focused on climbing the corporate ladder, doing all the things that we're told we're supposed to do in life as a 30 something adult. And those were the things that I was focused on. Now, in 2011, I went to a different primary care doctor, and her response was totally different. She touched it, she asked questions, she asked if I had any other symptoms, and I could tell by the look on her face when she touched it and I answered her questions that it was something serious. I did not expect it to be Hodgkin's lymphoma. And so at that point, that's when the testing started. And I went through 3 different tests. The first one was an ultrasound of that area, and that came back inconclusive. The second test was a fine needle aspiration, and that is where they take a small sample size of the tissue in that area. That came back inconclusive because the sample size was too small. And ultimately, it was a biopsy of that lymph node that determined I had Hodgkin's lymphoma. And Russ, I got that call on a Friday driving home from work. And that is when Talaya the Advocate was born, when I got that message, that, hey, I'm sorry to tell you, you have cancer. And really, my whole world was turned upside down in that instance. I thought about so many different things. You know, I was really frustrated because a year prior, I was basically told that it was nothing and just cast to the side. Now, there may be people wondering, well, why did you wait for a year? There are a number of reasons why, but ultimately, they're not, in my opinion, looking back, they're not good enough reasons. And of course, life got in the way, very stressed out working, this job, trying to climb the corporate ladder, supporting other people in my family, all those things that we typically do when we are just trying to be there for others and improve our own lives. But ultimately went to a new doctor, and that is when that journey began.
Well, I want to tell you that I love the whole advocate thing because I am part of several cancer organizations. One is Perspectives on Cancer with Tim Sohn, and love Tim and the whole group. And we talk a lot about advocating and doing things. And my daughter gets in my face sometimes and tells me, "You got to be better about advocating for yourself with the doctors." I have amazing doctors. I am blessed, they are great, but there's times when they're not me. And so they don't have the same uh, priority and the same urgency that I have in dealing with things. And right now I'm dealing with that with a couple of my doctors who are great, but I have so many now because, as you know, cancer is a lifelong journey. And
Yes.
because of the treatment, I see about every doctor at OHSU. I'm busy with my endocrinologist around my diabetes and my adrenal inconsistency or failure right now, which are life threatening things if you don't deal with them correctly. And they affect a lot of things. And so, my whole thing with those is having to really advocate for myself and kind of push them along because they're busy with other patients too. And I'm always going, hey, I'm here, it's me. I think that's so important because if we do not move forward and advocate for ourselves, things don't always go well. And I think that's so important. Some people are afraid to do that, right, Talia?
Yes, yes. Actually, a lot of people are afraid to do that. And especially, it depends on what generation they come from, too. I'm finding, a lot of older people, they suffer from the white coat syndrome where they're like, oh, no, I can't push authority. They're an authoritative figure. So I have to go along with what they say. And one of the things that I realized after pretty much being cast to the side and misdiagnosed, a year before, is that it can cost you your life. Like I could have died, you know, if I had not gotten answers, if I had not, found this new doctor who ultimately prioritized me and cared more about what I was sharing with her and helping me to get to a diagnosis. Again, I did not expect it to be cancer. And once I got that diagnosis, I made that decision in that moment that I have to advocate for myself. My life is on the line and I have to take charge of this thing. There's no being, passive anymore. And this is a time to be aggressive and to put yourself first. And so when I ultimately got connected with my oncologist, I made sure that he understood where I was coming from and what my expectations were. And I think that's so important for anyone who is, getting connected with a new doctor, or maybe you have a doctor and you feel like you are not getting the support that you need. There's two things. First of all, make your expectations clear. Make your needs clear. And then number two, it's always okay to get a second opinion. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't need permission to get a second opinion. Always, even if you feel like you have a great doctor and you're going through something like cancer or any other major disease or illness, I recommend getting a second opinion because that other doctor may know about something that your current doctor doesn't. For example, clinical trials. One doctor may know about a clinical trial that can save your life, and another doctor may not. And so, just looking at it like, hey, I'm exploring my options. And I think that is so important for your doctor to encourage that as well. If your doctor gets offended because you get a second opinion, that is not the doctor you want to be having overseeing your health care because that is limiting the possibilities for you. And so it's so important to be your own advocate, even if that means coming in prepared with questions ahead of time.
Right.
Even if that means saying, "Hey, I don't understand what you just told me. Explain it to me on a 3rd or 5th grade level." So those are just really basic examples.
No, I completely agree with you. And in fact, it has been it's a learning process because you don't really know how to deal with it until you have to deal with it, right? And
Right.
so it is yeah, it's kind of eye-opening the things that you need to focus on and really um uh just really, you got to stand up for yourself, right?
Yeah.
You got to say, hey, here I am. You're right, second opinions is so important. Oh my goodness, I'm telling you, if you feel like you're not everything is not happening, you all should do that. I have most of my doctors have recommended that I get second opinions or have said they're going to get second opinions for me, right? And so that makes me feel great. There's a thing at OHSU where I go. They have what's called the tumor board, and they all come together, all the doctors and technicians and people, and they talk about you and they look at the case and they decide where you are together. It's not just one doctor. So I love that. I love the ability to get more information. The other thing is, a lot of people don't know there's a lot of natural things they can do for themselves that are great, even if you're not into some of these crazy natural cures that everybody says cures everybody. You can eat well, you can take care of yourself, you can put good vitamins in yourself. There's some good supplements that help your immune system, other things, all just natural things that God put on this earth to help us that I think are good for you. What do you think about that?
I could not agree more, Russ. That is so important. And I think it's an often overlooked part of healthcare and self care. You know, um, I am not someone who says you need to do one or the other. I think integrative care is really important because, like you said, Russ, there are natural things that our bodies are hardwired to do if we let them. And sometimes when we're throwing all these different things into the pot, that throws off what our body is naturally able to do for us. And I think really being able to understand how our bodies work is really important. Now, in terms of complementary and integrative therapies, I always tell people, make sure you do your research. Make sure you are getting information from a credible source. Make sure you are discussing these things with your doctor because you don't want to be doing things that counteract, what it is that they're trying to help you with. The other thing I think that so many people overlook and neglect And I was guilty of this too when I was climbing the corporate ladder, is not taking enough time and getting out in nature, getting sunlight, vitamin D. I
Yeah.
mean, that is so important for our healing process. And it's just so important for all the different things that take place within our bodies. We need that vitamin D. I cannot stress that enough. And then
Yeah.
also relaxing your nervous system, finding ways that help you to relax, because when you're always in that fight or flight mode, that is causing inflammation. And so that inflammation is really a trigger for a lot of different things. And so, to your point, Russ, yes, please make sure that you look into those natural things as well. They're not a cure all, but they can help offset some of the side effects that a person may be experiencing.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. In fact, I listened to a great podcast. It's one my wife loves to listen to, and really, the person was talking about vitamin D. He's a doctor, by the way, and he was saying that if he had to take like two or three things that were the most important things you could take for yourself to help, was vitamin D, fish oil, because we don't get enough fish in our diet, and I think the third one was maybe vitamin C, but I mean, vitamin D was number one. He was very, very keen on that because we don't get nearly enough of that. And the positive effects of that, people don't realize. And these are all natural things. It does not hurt you to take vitamins and those things. It only helps you because in our natural environment, if we don't get enough of those through our natural diet and sunshine and all of that, we need to make sure we get that. And I've learned that having to supplement things in my body that aren't happening. God created us magic just amazingly to for our body to function and give us what we need. And when parts of your body shut down, you need to replace those things that your body did. I'm a type 1 diabetic now through my treatment, so I have to have an insulin pump to give me insulin that my pancreas normally would do. I have to take hydrocortisol that replaces the cortisol in my system that my adrenal glands used to give me. I have to take medicine that replaces what my thyroid used to do. And although it's not to say, woe is me, I'm just saying those things are good because they're replacing the functions of what my body quit doing. It allows me to live and be good. And so you could take that from a natural point. We need naturally vitamin D, sunshine, all those things like Talaya is saying. Get out in the sun, enjoy your life, get that vitamin D, but also take some vitamin D to make sure you're getting enough of that. So, okay. So when people come to you and you're helping them out, give me the top couple things you tell them as we get close to wrapping up here. What are the most important things besides advocating, which is huge, that they really need to focus on in their cancer battle?
Yes, thank you, Russ. I really love that question because one of the most important things, other than advocating for yourself, is really understanding why you want to live. And I say that because when you go through cancer treatment, it's going to be rough. There are going to be days where you're going to want to give up. There are going to be days when you're really sad, you're really tired. You have to keep your why you want to live in front of you. Number two, you are not a victim. What can you learn and take away from this experience? What is this experience trying to tell you? You know, so those are other things. The other thing, Russ, is to really make sure that you are surrounded by people who truly care about you. And this is really important. And I think that it's often overlooked because yes, you are going to need people there to support you through the journey, but you want people there who truly care about you because there's going to be times where you're going to be very vulnerable, and you want people around you who care about you, who will protect you, who will go to bat for you if you can't do it for yourself. And so I always encourage people to identify at least one or two people, and make sure you understand your why. Keep those things in front of you at all times.
Oh my goodness, man, that is so true. Understand why you're on this earth, the things that you're doing, and why it's so important to take care of yourself, right? I mean, people don't realize it's like the old airplane analogy. We overuse it, but it's so true. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't help but take care of anybody else. You can't function in life, right? You don't put
Right.
that oxygen mask on when it drops down within, what do they say, 13 seconds, you'll pass
Yeah.
out. Good example of not taking care of yourself so you can't take care of others. And I think that is so critically important. Well, Talaya, you are just amazing, and we're going to
Mm.
have to talk again. But for
Yes.
this show, we got to wrap things up. So I want you to give everybody your golden nugget of today's conversation, what you want them really to take away and remember from today, and let everybody know how they get in touch with you.
Yeah. So, what I want people to take away from this today is that just because you get a diagnosis, it does not mean your life is over. It doesn't mean that you're going to die. So, don't give up before you get started. A lot of people hear that diagnosis, you have cancer, you have this and that. It doesn't mean your life is over. It You may have to reposition, you may have to change some things, but it doesn't mean your life is over. So don't give up when you hear those words. People can reach me at ontheotherside.life. My email is talaya at ontheotherside.life. And of course, I'm on LinkedIn under Talaya Dendy, and Instagram, it's on the other side 17. I would love to hear from you, connect with you, and thank you so much.
Oh man, I tell you, everybody connect with Talea. I mean, all of her information as she was speaking magically appeared below her. It's in the comments, it's in the show notes, it's clickable. What does that mean? All you got to do is click on it and you go straight to whatever you clicked on. So I'm telling you, go connect with Talea today because you will be glad you did. Lots of great information. Cancer is a rough thing, and you're right. There's days you just want to give up, but hang in there. You've made it through all of your worst days so far. So hang in there. You can do it again. There's better things ahead. Keep a good perspective and keep moving forward and take one step at a time, and you'll be blessed because of it. So, Talaya, thanks so much again. I'm going to say goodbye and send you to the green room, but hang tight for just a second. After I wrap things up, we'll talk.
Okay.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. I tell you, these shows get better every time. I love her whole just her whole mindset and her whole perspective. Cancer is rough. It is. It is not easy to get that diagnosis, and it's not easy to hang in there sometimes. But one step at a time, keep moving forward. You will get through it. And I'm telling you, Talaya is a great source of information. You need to go to her. There's all of her connection information again. Her LinkedIn's been clicking along the bottom as well. And I just want to tell all of you how thankful I am that you're here today. Got a couple things I want to go over before we leave today, and that is we're here every Monday and Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for your viewing and listening pleasure. Don't forget, after we go live at 8, it stays on all the platforms, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook forever. And you can subscribe to our YouTube. So it's an easy way to get there at marketingwithruss.live. Simple, easy. You can still, if you're watching this on replay, first of all, please put hashtag team replay. Say hi to us in the comments and share this. Tag your friends. Great information that you can pass along. It's there to pass along. But guess what? If you don't have time to watch it or they don't, we also convert this to audio podcast. You can listen on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, whatever your favorite podcast platform is. And I would just thank you for doing that, be able to share that as well. We are so thankful. Want to remind you to share that hashtag 1000 thanks to let people know how thankful you are for them. And it's a big deal. It's a big deal. So, also, we are listener supported. So, what does that mean exactly? Well, you can support us just by, I call it a ministry, helping us here continue to pay the bills and keep moving forward with these live streams. This is for Marketing with Russ, Russ Reels Live, which is today at 4 p.m., by the way. An amazing show ahead today about content that really supports you in your business. And so anyway, but you can support all those. Click the QR code or the link the in the comments. Also, I want to give a special shout out again to our sponsors, Hounds of Business Community and Mike Asherbrenner, Haugen's Galleries, Shortstops, Burger Shakes and Fries, and State Farm and Suzanne Bodlovic. They are amazing. And finally, our 500th show's coming up on the 20th of this month. You don't want to miss it. 500 shows. Oh my goodness. Hard for me to believe, but it's really happening. So please join us on that date. And I'm so thankful that you're all here today. Thank you, thank you, thank you for everybody showing up today. It's an amazing day ahead, and I'm keeping a good attitude, even through everything going on. You know what? Morning's my time, and so I've got energy this morning, and I'm thankful to God for every day of life. With that, I'm going to say goodbye, and we will see you Monday here on Marketing with Russ at 8 a.m. Pacific. Have an amazing day, an amazing life. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. Be sure to subscribe in your favorite podcast app so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an amazing day.